Eileen Gu has messaged for her 15-year-old self over switching from US to China. Eileen Gu recently reflected on a pivotal moment in her career, sharing a message to her 15-year-old self about the decision to switch her competitive allegiance from the United States to China. The 22-year-old, who grew up in California and is a student at Stanford University, made history at the Milano Cortina Games as the most decorated freestyle skier, winning 2 silver medals and a gold. Her decision to compete for her mother's homeland drew significant criticism, but Gu has maintained that she does not regret the choice, cementing her place among the most successful Olympians in history. Meanwhile, Team USA star Alyssa Liu has issued a frightening plea after being chased to her car. In an Instagram post, Gu said, "I can look back now, at 22, and tell 12-year-old Eileen that there are now terrain parks full of little girls who will never doubt their place in the sport. I can tell 15-year-old me that there are now millions of girls who have started skiing since then, in China and worldwide. A lot of people won't understand or believe that I made a decision to create the greatest amount of positive impact on the world stage that I could, at this age, given my interests and passions. 3 golds and 6 medals later, I can confidently say was once a dream is now a reality. Thank you for all the support this Olympics. It was such a dream to compete in beautiful Italy." She also opened up on her decision to compete for China. "When I was 15, I announced my decision to compete for China," Gu wrote. "At the time, I had spent 1 season on the US team, and had been lucky enough to meet my heroes in person. I am forever grateful for that season, and continue to maintain a close relationship with the team. I had spent every summer in China since I was 8 setting up summer camps on trampoline and dry slope for kids and adults, ranging from 7 to 47 years old. So I knew the industry was tiny. I felt like I knew everyone. Skiing for Team China meant the opportunity to uplift others through the universal culture of sport, and to introduce free skiing to hundreds of millions of people who had never heard of it, especially with the Beijing 2022 Winter Olympics around the corner." During the Games, Gu was heavily criticized for her decision. "Somebody who grew up in the United States of America, who benefited from our education system, from the freedoms and liberties that make this country a great place, I would hope they would want to compete with the United States of America," Vice President J.D. Vance said in a Fox interview. However, USWNT icon Megan Rapinoe applauded the 6-time Olympic medalist for making an excellent business decision. "Excellent business decision on her part. I just have to say it," Rapinoe said. "No shame in that game. Right now, you're sitting in your room staring at the ceiling, wondering if the decision you're about to make will change everything. You're holding your phone, reading thousands of opinions from strangers who think they know who you are, who you should be, and what country you should represent. You feel excited, but you're also scared. Let me tell you something important. That feeling is normal. Big decisions always come with doubt. In a few years, people will call you brave. Some will call you controversial. Others will call you inspiring. But at this moment, you're just a girl who loves skiing and feels deeply connected to 2 cultures that shaped her life. And that's okay. You don't have to choose one part of yourself and erase the other. You are both. You always will be. Growing up between cultures was never simple. In San Francisco, you were the Chinese kid. In Beijing, you were the American girl. Sometimes it felt like you didn't fully belong anyway. But here's the truth you'll eventually learn. Belonging isn't about fitting perfectly into one box. It's about embracing every part of who you are. When you decide to compete for China, people will say you're turning your back on the United States. Some will accuse you of betrayal. Others will praise you for representing China. But the reality is much deeper than that. You're not abandoning one country for another. You're embracing the full story of your identity. Your mother's heritage, your summers in Beijing, the language you grew up speaking at home, the food, the traditions, the family who welcomed you with open arms every time you visited China. Those things are just as much a part of you as your life in America. You don't have to apologize for that. One day you'll stand on the biggest stage in the world, the Olympic Games. The snow will be bright under the lights, and millions of people will be watching. In that moment, the years of training, the early mornings, the injuries, the sacrifices will all come together, and you will realize something powerful. You didn't make this decision to please anyone. You made it because it felt true to who you are. Winning medals will feel incredible. Hearing the crowd cheer will be unforgettable. But the proudest moment won't just be standing on the podium. It will be knowing that you stayed true to yourself, even when the world tried to pull you in different directions. There will be critics. There will always be critics. Some people will question your motives. They'll say you did it for money, fame, or politics. But they don't know the real story. They didn't see the little girl who first stepped onto skis at age 3. They didn't see the endless hours practicing tricks until your legs burned. They didn't see the sacrifices your family made to support your dreams. And they definitely didn't see the nights you spent wondering if you were strong enough to carry the expectations placed on your shoulders. But you are strong enough. In fact, you're stronger than you think. The pressure will be intense. Suddenly the whole world will know your name. Interviews, cameras, sponsorships, everything will move faster than you ever imagined. Sometimes it will feel overwhelming. But remember why you started skiing in the first place. You didn't start for medals or headlines. You started because flying through the air made you feel free. Don't ever lose that feeling. The world will try to label you American, Chinese, athlete, celebrity, role model. But you are more than any single label. You're a daughter who admires her mother's strength. You're a student who values education. You're a young woman who wants to inspire girls to chase their dreams, whether in sports, science, art, or anything else. And yes, you're a skier who loves pushing the limits of what's possible. Your journey will inspire millions of young people who feel like they belong to more than one world. Kids who speak 2 languages. Kids who celebrate 2 cultures. Kids who sometimes feel caught between identities. Through your story, they will see